What's good, YouTube? It's your boy ChicoFilo here, man. Finally back with a new video. I know it's been months since my last proper upload, but here we finally are, just in time for the new 2K season. Season 7, for those of you guys that still care about new seasons. I believe this will be the third to last season of 2K25 until 2K26 comes out. So why not my final endgame build for 2K25, and I say endgame because this is absolutely my final build that I'll be having for 2K25. And since I only just reached Veteran 2 as well, it allowed me to make my most optimized build that can basically do anything you wanted to, and you can play it for whatever mode that you want. It is by far the very best build that I have on this game. But anyway, enough yapping for me. Let's get straight into it. If you guys do enjoy this video and find it helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you guys want to see more content. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so this is our build right here. As you guys can see, I have a handful of cap breakers that I was able to use for this build. And like I said earlier, I am a Veteran 2, which means if you guys are not Veteran 2 yet, you might not be able to copy this build exactly how you see it right here on the screen. But don't you guys worry, I am going to show you guys how you can still make this build even without those cap breakers. Obviously, it's not going to have the exact same stats. However, it will still be very, very similar. And it'll just be a slightly downgraded version of the one that I have right here. So as you guys can see right here, I used a total of 13 cap breakers to get my build exactly how I wanted it. So 5 on my 3-point to get to a 99, and then 5 on my ball handle to get it to a 96, and then 3 on my speed with ball to get that to a 94. Just very quickly, if you are still someone that has no idea how to get these cap breakers, you basically get it from either your rep, and you also get it for every single time that you reach level 40 in a new season. Although it is season 7 right now, I am aware that not all of you guys are going to have up to 13 cap breakers. I mean, some of you guys are probably only going to have half of that. Some of you guys might even have a lot more than me, which is obviously great because that means you can copy this exact build and probably even make it better. Okay, so this is our build right here. It is a point guard, 6'2" for the height, 184 pounds for the weight, 6'3" for our wingspan. And as you guys can see, these are the possible badges that you guys can get on this build. Okay, so like I said earlier, these are the attributes that you want to follow only if you have 13 cap breakers. Okay, once again, +5 to your 3-point, +5 to your ball handle, and then +3 to your speed with ball. And those of you guys watching right now that do not have up to 13 cap breakers yet, don't you worry. There are many different versions of this build that can cater towards you, and depending on how many cap breakers you have, we can still make this work. Okay, so first of all, the very important aspect that I do want to point out about this build is that it does need a 99.3. A 99.3 is a very big difference on this game. Like a 99.3 in comparison to a 98, 97, 96 is a really big jump. And almost every meta point guard build quite literally has a 99.3 point. But obviously, if you put this to a 99 off rip, you are going to be limited in all your other attributes. So it is important to keep this at a 94. And I'm sure you guys will have at least 5 cap breakers to set aside for that. The next important attribute of this build is our ball handle. You want to get this to at least a 95 if you can, just so you can get Steve Francis. And obviously, for those of you guys that don't have enough on your cap breakers, what you can do to tweak this build a little bit is put your steal down to an 85, and also our pass accuracy to a 78. Okay, 78 is all you need. That should allow you to at least get +2 for your ball handle. And then hopefully you have +2 of your cap breakers to get that to a 95. Our 85 mid-range, by the way, we don't want to touch at all because this is what is going to give you a pure green window for all your middies. Your free throw, depending on what you're doing, if you're not going to be playing rec or like 5s much, can definitely go down, although your free throw is very cheap, so it isn't really going to give you much attributes elsewhere. But if you are strictly only using this build for the 2s and 3s, then feel free to lower your free throw as much as you can. Just make sure it doesn't lower anything else. So this can go up to a 69, as you guys can see right there. But as you guys can see right here, as soon as I did that, I can now put my ball handle up to a 94, which will give me Hall of Fame handles for days as well. And only a +1 cap breaker needed to get that to a 95. But if you also prefer, I was going to get to our next most important one. I prefer having a build with speed with ball that gets to legend off rip. So if you can add +3 to speed with ball to get that to legend, that is ideal. So depending on how many cap breakers you might have, you might want to keep this on 93 for now, and then say add +1. So all you need is another +2 for speed with ball, and then another +2 as well for your ball handle. So it basically really comes down to how many cap breakers you have. That will affect how this build should look before you submit it in the builder. And then at this point, if you are still wondering how to scrap some more attribute points because you just don't have enough cap breakers to get this up to a 94, to get this to a 95, and to get this to a 99, you can lower the driving dunk and the vertical of this build. So for example, we're going to go from 75, which gives us silver posterizer. I mean, it's not too important to have that badge anyway. we can put this all the way down to a 65, and then our driving dunk as well to, and just before we get bronze posterizer, which I believe is like 73. There we go, 73 driving dunk and a 65 vertical. You're still going to be able to finish at the rim. You just don't get that silver posterizer badge, and you're obviously not going to get the best dunk animations like you would on an 87 driving dunk, but at least now you should definitely be able to get this to another +1, and then this as well to another +1. And if you are someone that does have to do this, you might as well lower your driving layup as well to 78. I think that is the lowest. Yeah, that'll have to be a 78. And then also your post control, you won't need this as well. Just make sure you are optimizing your build as you go, so you're not wasting any attributes. Standing dunk can stay at a 45 because that does come in handy. Interior as well, you can subtract a little bit if you need to, as you guys can see right here, 85. And as well as our block, just make sure it doesn't take away from anything else. So this is basically like the bare minimum I'm doing right now. As you guys can see, it's not really taking down anything. There we go. So these numbers right here, the absolute lowest that you can go. Defensive rebound as well, we can't really touch that anymore. So this is basically as optimized as it gets if you want to be able to make this build, say if you don't have enough cap breakers. So now, as you guys can see, we went from needing a +2 to only needing a +1 to get that Steve Francis, and then also an additional +1 to get that legend lightning launch off rip, and then if you can, another +1 to get to 96 ball handle. That will give you Hall of Fame unpluckable. So obviously this might all sound very, very confusing for you guys right now, but going back to our initial attributes that we had from the very beginning, just use this as a base, and just like how I did, depending on how many cap breakers you want, slowly deduct those attributes and then slowly work your way up and just calculate in your head, and to make sure you have enough so that you can get this 3-point to a 99, and then your ball handler to a 95, 96 if you can, and if you want that Hall of Fame unpluckable, but 95 at least for Steve Francis, and then 94 for your speed with ball, so you can get lightning launch at legend off rip. And after you have submitted your build, you will get shades of Kirk Heinrich, Tyrese Maxey, and Jordan Poole. I mean, not the greatest like comparisons obviously, but I'm telling you right now, this is my favorite build on 2K25 by far. It is the only build that I'm currently using. I use it for the 2s, the 3s, the 5s, Pro-Am Arena, the Rec, anything. And this build is a 2-way 3-level shot creator. And once you guys have maxed out this build, this is what your badges are going to look like. As you guys can see, a whole lot of legend badges right there. Half unpluckable if you can get it. Half handles for days. Gold interceptor as well. Gold glove. It's got basically everything you need in there. And like I said, you can use this build for practically any mode that you want on the game. So while we're here, I might as well update you guys with my most recent and most updated Season 7 SIGs. And as you guys can see right here, this is what I'm rocking with. Dribble Star, Darius Garland, Steve Francis size up, and then the Devin Booker aggressive breakdown combo, because that's really, really helpful. Steph Curry escape as well. And you guys can copy the rest. That is basically it. Kobe triple threat. And then for step back, this one right here, Jalen Brunson. This one actually just came out with Season 7. It is the same one, if you guys remember the one on 2K24, the same snatchback move that people would spam usually. But if you don't want to use that, you can obviously go with Tyrese, Zach LaVine, or even the Luka one. But for now, I'm still going to rock with the Jalen Brunson one because I do actually like it, and you can actually shoot off it pretty well as well. As for our jump shot, this is absolutely the very best. And I'm not even just saying that. I was actually struggling a lot, like shooting on this game for the longest time. But then this jump shot right here saved me. So if you're struggling to find a good jump shot right now as a guard, I highly, highly recommend this right now to you guys. Lower base, Patty Mills, of course, best base in the game. Oscar Robertson, and then JJ Redick. And then for our blending and release speed, you want to go with a release visual cue, our fastest release speed, 90% Oscar Robertson, 10% JJ Redick. And all I'm going to say is, you guys can thank me later. I promise you, I was probably shooting like at one point way below 50%. Like, I don't know what it was. I think I was getting messed up by like the server delay. I don't know what it was, but I was still using Patty, but I just couldn't figure out how to consistently time it. But then ever since I switched to this jump shot right here, it saved me, and it just became much, much easier. And now I'm probably shooting like above like 80% like each game. Like, I'm not even joking. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section below what changes you guys want to make, or what type of endgame builds you guys made yourselves as well. Obviously, 2K25, we still have about, wait, what month is it now? It is May. So we got May, June, July, August. About 4 months and a bit until the new 2K26 comes out in September. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe once again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.